Welcome to the Gateshead International Stadium. Wherever you are listening to us, you are more than welcome. We've got full match commentary coming up from the National League this afternoon. Gateshead against Woking. Kick-off at 3 o'clock. It's a lovely afternoon, late summer's afternoon in the northeast. Where on earth has the summer gone? We're nearly at an end. It's hard to believe, but yes, it's absolutely true. We're coming up to a bank holiday weekend, and whatever you're doing, we really hope you can stay with us this afternoon for, I think, what's going to be an entertaining game, as I can just see Darren Sile just walking out now, the Woking manager, just applauding the Woking fans who were originally meant to be seated opposite our commentary position in the east stand, but are in fact in the Tyne and Weir stand, the main stand here at the International Stadium, and they're pretty vocal to say the least, as we just wait for the teams to come out. The pitch is looking absolutely amazing. It's been watered as we speak. We will run through both sides very, very shortly. Joining me is Ian Nicholson, just to give us his perspective on Woking this afternoon. Ian, it's lovely to see you again. I hope you're well.
Thank you.
I think we last covered the midweek game at Oldham at the back end of last season. It's good to see you. You're looking well.
Thank you.
I have to say, and I genuinely mean that. You're looking well as both sides come out, and Ian's just giving them a round of applause, the Woking players. So before I run through the teams, Ian, just briefly tell me how you think the season's gone for Woking so far, because it has been tough for them injury-wise.
It's been very tough injury-wise, and it's been a patchy. The win against Rochdale was very welcome. Last week against Barnet really were very comfortable 2-0 winners. So it's, I think, and Gateshead are obviously flying, so it's a hard game, this one, and trying to make sense of the Woking team. Obviously there are quite a few injuries, which changes things, but it does look, for the first time that I can recall under Darren Sile, that we may well have a back three, which and another three defenders in Akinola, Casey and Moss in midfield. So it's a very un-Darren Sile-like team, really, but it's something, and it'd be interesting to know what is tactical, because Gateshead are flying, and what is injury-driven.
Okay, so if we go with what we suspect is a 3-5-2 formation for Woking, we suspect, or rather Ian suspects, that they may line up like this. So we've not kicked off just yet, but we are about to at any moment. So let me just give you the lineup for Woking then. So we think that, well, we certainly know that Jääskeläinen is going to be in net. We know that. So there's a back three of Taylor, Bradshaw, the new loan signing from Ipswich Town, signed this morning. That was announced at 11 o'clock today. He is in the starting 11. We think that he will be in the heart of the defence alongside both Taylor and Cuthbert. A midfield five of Moss, possibly acting as a deep defensive midfielder. Casey and Akinola on either side. And ahead of them, Robinson and Kellerman. Up front, Armand and Brown. So one of four changes following the 2-0 defeat at Barnet last week. So Jääskeläinen is in, the captain Josh Casey, as well as Kellerman and new signing Bradshaw. We're about to go, really vocal here at the Gateshead International Stadium. There's always a good noise here at this ground. The local support love to get behind their team, and why wouldn't they, after what has been a very good start for them, winning their last two games, as Brown just wants to get on with things for Woking, but the referee has decided just to hold things up a little longer. Brown just a little too eager to say. In fact, it's one of the Gateshead players. I'm getting a little mixed up. I'm getting a little mixed up here. So it was Dinanga, I should say, up against Kellerman. So Woking do kick off in their yellow tops and blue shorts, playing from left to right in the first half. And they win an early throw, just about level with the 18-yard line down this right-hand side. I'll give you the Gateshead lineup in full in just a few moments' time. Once we just see the end of this attack, perhaps. Kellerman linking up with Moss, the early cross, cut out by Gates, and the ball inside the penalty area.
And it looks like Bradshaw is actually, yeah, no, I didn't think it was either, but it looks like Bradshaw is actually playing midfield, although we understood he was a central defender, so it does look actually like a back four of Moss, Cuthbert, Taylor and Casey. Akinola in front of the back four, and also Bradshaw in midfield.
Gateshead just playing out from the back with Archie Mayer with a very tricky looking pass inside the box. But Gateshead manage it well, only to give the ball away halfway inside their own half. But the referee says Woking have committed a foul halfway inside the Gateshead half, and the Heed, as they are known in these parts, get on with things again, back inside their own box with Archie Mayer. I'll tell you more about him a little later. Well known in the National League for his heroics in the National League playoff final last season. But they come forward now down this near left-hand side, only for Kellerman to step in and just snip the ball away. Finds Casey, now Brown hurtling away down the right-hand side on the edge of the box, delays his cross, eventually comes in, it's behind Armand though, and Gateshead are just quite content to let the ball go out for a throw to Woking on the far side. But a great run from Brown just to beat the offside trap down the right-hand side.
Yeah, good ball, good work there by Kellerman to get it forward to him, and yeah, promising there from Woking.
So Woking lost 2-0 at Barnet. They've had a very good start to the season. As Casey tries to just dink the cross in, it's blocked by Ollie, the Gateshead captain. So Woking starting well on the front foot. Chance of Casey, just drills in the ball towards Brown, trods on it, tries to get the shot away on the edge of the box, almost falls towards Armand, and Gateshead just stopped the ball away towards Dinanga inside the centre circle. Has Warren as an option. Scored a hat-trick here in the last home game against Ebbsfleet. As Booty releasing now. Warren coming into the box. They give it a beat, and he drills the ball beyond the far post. An opening chance that Warren really should have put away. Woking very lucky.
Yeah, it was. It was just away really. Moss caught a bit flat-footed on the right, and Darren Sile just having a word with him tactically now, and but it was a great opportunity. He had so much. It's probably one of those you have so much time to think really, and he hit it well wide, but he was through just on the edge of the 6-yard box.
Great through ball from Booty to set up the chance. The clearance from Jaskalainen, meanwhile, possibly wind assisted, just took one bounce and straight through to Archie Mayer. And Gateshead, as I've noticed on a couple of occasions, are quite comfortable just playing the ball from the back, aren't they, Ian?
Yeah, very. They're a good footballing side. I mean, the Wilkinson side always are, and they play good football. I saw a statistic in their game so far, they've had 64% possession, so they like to keep the ball, like to play it around, and also scored 11 goals.
Yeah, that's actually the joint highest in the National League so far. And the build now down the right-hand side. The ball's intercepted easily by Casey, makes at least 10 yards, stabs the ball to his right, finds Brown, stumbles, gets back on his feet, regains his balance, tries to control the ball with his right foot, drills the ball in towards the 6-yard box. Possibly a little too hard for Armour to do much with it, and Gateshead just do enough to handle that, and it goes out for a throw.
But good work from Brown. He's started well. He's had a quiet couple of games, and but there he's been really on it this first few minutes, taking on men confidently.
And here he is again near the corner flag. Doesn't have anywhere to go. And comes up Hannant, one of the new signings, one of many new signings for Gateshead. In fact, they've made 6 alone this month. 11 altogether. Almost the same amount as Woking, in fact, who've made 10. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm sure Ian will correct me.
I'll take your word for it. I haven't counted them up. I've lost track. There are a lot of incomers, but also a good core from last year. The main challenge has been losing people to injuries, but yeah, it's
yeah, we'll
promising
talk.
start from both sides. Actually, you can see why Gateshead have scored goals. They're given a chance. They have space up front, and they go for it. But Woking have also pushed them back on a few occasions.
And again, they try to encourage Woking just to push up almost right into the penalty box as they come out.
Yeah.
And on 2 or 3 occasions, they've managed to do that. They're playing the ball out really well. They look a side that has confidence right now, and why wouldn't they with the start they've made? Certainly in the last 2 games, they had that brilliant run last season, Ian, winning 6 games in a row, which helped them guarantee safety in their first season back in the National League. I actually saw them guarantee survival with that goalless draw here in the northeast against Dorking. It was quite a dull affair, but on that night, both sides stayed up.
Yeah, and I think they obviously had the Wembley final as well in the FA Trophy, and they started very poorly last year, but came through being really one of the form teams of the second half of the season.
Taylor dinking the ball through, almost finds Ammon. He could get it on the byline, and it just runs beyond him, but he settles for the next best thing, and that's going to be a corner for Woking. They've started positively. It's an open game. Both teams looking positive.
They are, and I think that was a lovely ball. I think it was Taylor put it forward for Ammon. He couldn't quite get there, but it's won the corner for Woking.
And it's going to be Casey then, left-footed, raises his right arm. Here it comes. It's a rather flat delivery. Armand with a header, angled across the 6-yard box, and Archie Mayer in unconventional
away, wasn't it?
Yeah,
really?
In a very unconventional manner, just kicked the ball away, just only 2 yards from his own line.
Well, it's probably what he should do in those situations, but it really was bobbling around and could have gone to anybody. It was a nice corner there from Josh Casey.
And Armand reacting ever so well on the edge of the 6-yard box to create that chance.
Yeah, he's
what you'd expect.
It's what you expect from Porrick Armand, and
but the signs are good so far for Woking as Cuthbert swings in the ball, right-footed, goes beyond Armand, and Archie Mayer was quite happy to let that ball go out, and Armand just thought, well, I'm going to kick that a little further away for you.
Yeah, if you're not going to let me get it, I'll kick it away.
Glorious weather, Ian, and it usually is when I come up here. I'm blessed.
Yeah, I mean,
well, we're blessed.
The forecast was thunderstorms, I think. Good interception there by Akinola.
Akinola intercepts the early ball from Gateshead inside the home side's half, with Brown now in a central midfield position, finding Bradshaw. The pass inside from Casey, cut out. The early ball forward towards Dinanga, the signing last season from Altrincham, doesn't get to it, and Cuthbert sweeps up well, finds Taylor just beyond his own 18-yard line. In fact, Sal did say that both Taylor and Cuthbert were excellent at Barnet last week, as the away side are just caught offside about 25 yards out.
Yeah, it's again, I mean, we were saying it before, it's an entertaining game, ball being played. If anything, Woking, apart from the one through ball for Gateshead, Woking have had the upper hand in terms of pressure.
Armand with a header across the face of goal. The closest for Woking, but in again is Warren, tries to tap the ball first time in field. Cuthbert does really well, not once but twice, to deny him, as Warren goes down inside the box, not looking for a penalty. I think it was just more in frustration that he didn't make more of the opportunity. McBride loses out. Warren, coming back from an offside position, leaves the ball, and it just runs out for a throw in this near side for for Woking, which Moss is going to take in the right back position. But 0-0.
Another danger moment there for Woking with the ball through for Dinango, I think, and again you can see the pace up front was really stretching Cuthbert and Taylor.
We'll be having an update very shortly with BBC Radio Surrey, by the way, and we'll be doing that at regular intervals during our online commentary. As Moss hurls the ball at least 20 metres over the halfway line. Gathers the ball again, lifted forward, that time by Cuthbert, looking for the run of Armand, just outside the box, cuts inside his man. Doesn't quite get a lucky ricochet of the ball, but it falls for Brown. Beautiful turn inside the box. Could he get the shot away? Right-footed. The shot does come in eventually, though. Oh. Brown's denied inside the box. Oh, and an effort comes in.
Bradshaw, I think.
I think it is Bradshaw. First time, left-footed over the bar, about 12 yards out.
Yeah, and Brown is down there. He got caught a little bit, I think, but it's again good play there by Woking around the box. Hammond first, then Brown looking for a little bit of space. Then he went back to Robinson, who took his shot, rebounded, and Bradshaw had a chance, probably 10 yards out, and it went over. But it was a good opportunity, good play by Woking.
And I think Brown is down inside the box right now, and he's going to need a little treatment, but Brown has definitely been prominent so far. Woking looking good. Not that they are a team in crisis by any means, but it has been a tough start. Darren Sarll did say it's been his toughest spell as Woking manager because of the injuries they've had, and we're just going to have an update now with BBC Radio Surrey. Well, at the moment, Joe, no goals so far, but it's been a really open, entertaining start. Gateshead, they've had the best chance of the game so far. Stephen Warne grabbed a hat-trick last week here at this stadium. Should have put the Heed, as they are known, up in front. He was released by Booty. He was running in from the left-hand side, only the keeper to beat from a sharp angle, but he drifted his shot beyond the far post. But Woking have come back well. Brown's looking good down the right hand side. We've seen a couple of good crosses coming in from him. Armand with a downward angled header from a corner that could have caused problems, and the new signing Zach Bradshaw saw his left-footed effort from 10 yards go over the bar. But the signs so far, Joe, are encouraging from Woking, but it's 0-0 after 12 minutes. So welcome back with our online commentary with BBC Sport.
Brown walking off there quite gingerly with the Woking physio, and got his hands on his knees. He doesn't look as though he's rushing to get back on the pitch. He does look as though he's taken a genuine knock. So the Woking fans will hope that he can run that off.
Yeah, let's hope so. Oh, the ball's just given away straight towards Armand. 30 yards out. Gets away from one man. Kelman linking up. The shot comes in from Robinson, and he's blazed that high and wide. First time right-footed over the bar. But Gateshead caught sleeping by Woking, who are looking really alert and sharp.
Yeah, they are. Thumbs up from Reece Brown. He's still walking. He's not back on the pitch yet, but as he walks back to the technical area, he's jogging now. Thumbs up. Physio puts the thumbs up, so he'll be reappearing in a minute.
This play now flows onto the far side with Hanans towards McBride, I should say, and Jaskalainen is just, well, I thought he might have just flicked that behind, but it drifts beyond him and the far post out for a goal kick. But McBride, not seen much from him so far, but he's been a good signing for Gateshead, and his cross goes out to play for a goal kick. Still 0-0 after 14 minutes.
Yeah, good attack there by Gateshead, and it's end-to-end stuff. Probably Gateshead have had the most dangerous chances, but Woking have had probably more possession and quite a few half chances.
Bradshaw picks up for Woking beyond the halfway line. Akinola just stabs the ball out wide towards Taylor inside the Woking half as now they press forward down the left-hand side, but the pass is overhit for Brown, just loitering down the left-hand side this time.
Good play by Bradshaw there. No panic. He just took it on his chest. His ball there didn't find Brown. But he could have panicked and just done a header clear, but he took it on his chest, laid it off to Akinola.
Just aged 19. Not sure how long the loan spell is for. We just need to check that with Darren Saul in our post-match interview. Gateshead again. They love to take their time building from the back, and Archie Med drifts one out towards his far side. Warren clashes with Moss. Warren is down. Moss was down on his haunches for a moment or two. He's back on his feet, although he may just need a moment or two to compose himself. Throwing for Woking in the sunshine. The entire pitch bathed in sunshine. Pitch looking great. As Darren Searle is just busily writing down a note or two, and in fact we're going to have a change. He's just written a note to the fourth official. We're going to see a change, and
Brown's gone down over there. That is so disappointing.
And that's the last thing Woking need.
Yeah, he's playing well.
Another injury to add to their woes.
Yeah, Ricky Corboa coming on.
Yeah, you're spot on, Ian. So Ricky Corboa will come on. Brown. That's such a shame, isn't it? For Woking, well, for any player to come off. But Brown went down. Looked as though he was okay, but he's not going to be well enough to continue. So after just 16 minutes, Woking are having to make an early change. And that's such a shame. Brown has started really well, looked in the mood, looked really keen and hungry.
Substitution for Woking.
And Corboa is on to replace him, Ian Nicholson.
Yeah, very disappointing for Brown. The season just hasn't really fired for him. And he's getting a good round of applause from the Gateshead fans. Chance for Ricky Corboa to do something now. He is a good front player. So see if he and Padraig Armand can link up.
Armand with the header, almost links up with Corboa inside the box. Casey up against McBride, wins the ball back. It's on the edge of the Gateshead box. The header across the face of the 18-yard box is cleared by Hunter. Released by Sunderland, spent last season at South Shields, now in the National League North. Ball just bouncing around halfway inside the Gateshead half, and Woking pick up with Casey with one-touch controls, then dabs it short down the left-hand side. The cross comes in from Armand! Oh, and it's almost a chance, half a chance for Matt Robinson inside the 6-yard box, but it's out for a Woking corner.
Good build-up there by Woking, and a great ball fired across by Padraig Armand, and Robinson not quite on the end of it, but it was a good opportunity. Corner now from Casey.
And Casey again will swing this one away from goal. Is it going to be another flat delivery? It's a more loop this time, and the whistle goes just as Corboa won the ball, but the whistle had already gone. Free kick for Gateshead inside the penalty box. 18 minutes gone, 0-0.
Referee must have seen some sort of offence there, push or a pull or whatever. Enough to lower his whistle, but again it was a good corner from Josh Casey. It was just causing a few problems.
I certainly hear what you're saying, Ian, about Gateshead going forward. They do seem to look the more dangerous of the two, but Woking are enjoying more of the ball at the moment, and they are offering a threat themselves. But there is something about Gateshead. Every time they come forward, they do seem to carry a little more menace, I think.
Well, you can see them there. They've got 4 men forward there, and they're all men who are comfortable on the ball, quick players, and their confidence will be high.
Booty in the left-back position, the inside pass. Takes a ricochet now towards Corboa, shoots towards the near post, and Archie Mayer has to be alert to that, diving to his left and grabs the ball at the second attempt. But great play from Corboa.
Oh, great play. Got the ball there, twisted and turned, came away with the ball, hit it hard to his near post, and the keeper covered it well. But it was certainly a dangerous ball.
So still a relatively open game this so far. Hannant has Warren just trying to time his run to stay on side. The ball goes back. Story through towards Mayer. Oh, he's lost the ball. He could be in big trouble here outside his box, but he just redeems himself in the nick of time, getting the ball away from Robinson. But what on earth was Archie Mayer doing outside the box? Played this audacious dummy, and it almost came back to bite him big time. They're playing a dangerous game at the back at times, aren't they, Gateshead?
Well, whether that was overconfidence or whatever, Mayer tried to get away. Robinson dispossessed him, but he had 2 men on him, but he took the shot on goal, but he didn't quite have that clear shot, but very risky from the keeper.
And now Hannant coming in from the right-hand side, 25 yards out, up against Casey. Now Warren, central position, digs the ball through to Denanga, gets in, shoots! I didn't think he would have the time to do that, but he got in between 2 defenders. I think it was Taylor and Moss, still got the shots away. And Gateshead grabbed the lead through Denanga.
Yeah, classy finishing there from Denanga. You could say, well, he had 2 men on him. How did he get the shot in? And I think that's a valid question, but it's classy finishing. And, you know, again, we've been saying player high on confidence, good goal. But there'll probably be questions on how he managed to get that shot in against two of his own, 2 opposition players.
Yeah, that is disappointing, because I honestly thought that Denanga would not get the chance to even get a shot away, but he did.
Yeah.
And he still managed to beat Jääskeläinen at the near post. Not that I'm apportioning any blame on him at all. Denanga did incredibly well. Meanwhile, Koboa getting on with things for Woking. The shot challenge down. Kellerman again digs the ball towards the far post as Bradshaw knocks it down. And once again, Gateshead coming forward now with a counter-attack. As the ball's drilled forward. And it's going to be too far for Hannant on this near side, as Gateshead once again just showing what they can do when they come forward. The ball runs out of play. Woking trailing by 1-0 as we now come to the halfway point in the first half.
Yeah. But good attack there from Woking. Didn't really come to anything. And then immediately Gateshead were on the break. And that long ball, just too far for them to capitalise on.
So we're going to have another update with BBC Radio Surrey before we continue with full match commentary. That will be coming up at any moment now. As Gateshead come forward again. Yeah, it's not good news, I'm afraid. Woking are 1-0 behind just beyond the halfway point in the first half, and there may well be questions about the Woking defence, because Denanga, the signing from Altrincham last season, somehow got between Taylor and Moss inside the box to get his shots away and beat Jääskeläinen at the near post. But Woking have had their chances. Robinson almost dispossessed Mayer, the goalkeeper, outside his box, couldn't quite get his shot away, and there has been an enforced change as well. Brown, who was so good in the opening 15 minutes, he's gone off with an injury and has been replaced by Koboa. But it has been a really entertaining game so far, Joe, but Woking are trailing by 1-0. So, welcome back to our online commentary. Woking trailing by 1-0. And that's just what can happen, Ian, when you come up against the side high in confidence and they don't need many chances. They had that great chance earlier with Warren, should have scored. That was a lot easier than the one Denanga got.
Yeah.
And yeah, the defending, such a shame, really.
Yeah,
from a Woking perspective.
It had been a good start to the game. I'm not obviously the game's not over. I mean, there's plenty of opportunities for Woking to get back into this, but it'd been very even, and yeah, you'd have to look. I'm sure the coaches could look at that and tell you whether mistakes were made or whatever. But you have to say it was well taken by Denanga.
Taylor just has to be careful, wary of Denanga's presence. Jääskeläinen lifts the ball onto the running track on the far side. Usually for the home games here, they only use the one stand, which is the Tyne and Weir stand. But it's a decent venue. In fact, quite a few big names have performed here over the years. Ian, we've had Tina Turner twice.
Oh, really?
Rod Stewart.
I was thinking
well.
more of Brendan Foster or Usain Bolt or somebody.
Well, I'm not sure how often this venue is still used for athletics, but we haven't seen many pop concerts here either in recent years either.
No.
McBride just stumbling forward as Bradshaw nips in.
He's done well this first 20 minutes. He's young, he's energetic, he's got a nice touch.
And to think, he was only announced as a signing just over 4 hours ago.
Yeah, I mean, whether he'd even met his teammates, he may have trained with them yesterday. But
absolutely, so it may have just been announced today. We don't know how long he has spent with his teammates, but well, it wouldn't have been very long anyway.
No.
As Mayer decides to go long this time, looking for the run of Dinanga, trying to peel away from Taylor, but now it's Warren, steps in on his right foot. McBride out wide to Hannant, drills a ball in, and the header from Dinanga, stooping on the edge of the 6-yard box, but lifts the ball over the bar. The home side still lead by 1-0 after 26 minutes.
Yeah, good attack there, good ball in. You said a while ago, about aware of Dinanga's presence. I think certainly because he started the season so well, certainly there will be an awareness that he's a danger man.
Cleared long by Jaskalainen. Koboa picks up on the right-hand side, gets it back towards Bradshaw. Kellerman in a little pocket of space, lifts the ball towards Armand. The cushioned header away from Story, back towards Koboa though, 25 yards out. Plays the ball back towards the halfway line via Kellerman. Now forward by Taylor, comes off McBride on the far side, and Woking just trying to get themselves back into the game again. 27 minutes gone. Casey loops one towards the edge of the box, and Gateshead concede another throw. Kenton Richardson actually scored the opening goal against Ebbsfleet last week before Warren rounded things up with a second half hat-trick and a resounding 4-1 win. There's Robinson, just a lovely turn, got away from one man, but still wins a corner. And I've been impressed with Robinson, one of the new signings this season.
Yeah.
In fact, it's a free kick, I do apologise, which Casey will take, almost level with the 18-yard line.
Yeah, Robinson, I would say he's had a slow start to the season. He's had his moments, but it's settling into a new system with new teammates, and I have a great respect for him as a player, having seen him at Luton and at Dagenham over many years. But it's taken him a while to settle, I would say, but most of his regular midfielders are injured.
Casey, dangerous set piece this for Woking, up against a one-man maul. He swung in, the header coming in from Taylor. I think it may have just grazed the top of his head, and it's going to be, well, it must have come off a Gateshead player last, but it was Taylor jumping up for the ball. It goes out for a Woking throw down on this right-hand side, almost coming up to half an hour. The game has just flown so far. It has been a very open, entertaining game. 1 goal separating the sides. Dinanga with it for Gateshead, swinging by Cuthbert up towards Armand. And the home side are going to win a free kick as Armand just goes into the back of Ollie. Free kick for the home side.
Yeah, it has flown by. It's been an entertaining game.
Certainly chances at both ends. Warren with that great chance very early for Gateshead. Corboa, the best chance for Woking, the substitute, testing Archie Mayer at the near post. And Dinanga chasing this free kick. Cuthbert just stooping, lifts the ball away with his head. Hannant looking busy. That's a dreadful pass into his own half, which Corboa almost got onto the end of, only for Booty, the signing from Maidstone United, to intercept. Ollie with an intelligent ball, spraying the ball out wide towards the right-hand side. As Story almost on the edge of his own box for Gateshead. Back towards Mayer, who was brought on as a substitute for Notts County in the playoff final last season. Saved 2 spot kicks, ensuring promotion for them. On loan from Norwich City at Gateshead this season.
Yeah, he was a star, wasn't he, on that day?
Absolutely.
I remember watching it. It was incredible, really, how well he saved the penalties.
Hannan stabs the ball in field. Neat footwork from Warren, gets a lucky break of the ball away from Kellerman, infield, away from the left. The crossfield pass charged down by Bradshaw. And it's back towards Story, halfway inside the Gateshead half. Again, another intelligent pass from Ollie. He can certainly pick out the good pass and allows Kenton Richardson to stream forward now with Francis to Warren inside the box, up against Moss. The cross comes in, but down is Jaskalainen inside the 6-yard box to gather. But again, Woking opened up down the left.
They were opened up there, and I think it was Bradshaw. He did well, but he was then out of position and no one was covering, so Gateshead were able to come forward on the right, found space on the edge of the area and got the shot in. Dangerous moment.
As Armand goes down just inside his own half. Just got a little cloudy at the moment, still a lovely afternoon, though in the northeast a bit of a breeze. I think showers or even thunderstorms were forecast in the area. Thankfully it's dry at the moment, nothing ominous as yet, Ian.
No, there's no sign, is there, of the heavy rain that was predicted, I think, which is probably why the fans were brought over into this big stand, because otherwise Woking fans would have been totally uncovered.
Actually, I didn't even think of that. That's a really good point. As Kenton Richardson just backpedaling into his own box, heads it away. Booty flicks the ball out with his left foot. Now finding Hannan. Seems to be getting everywhere for Gateshead. Sees no way forward, gets the ball back towards Kenton Richardson, and Story has Mayer as an option, running outside his box. And Booty gets away from Armand, back towards Mayer, who just shifts the ball out onto the right-hand side this time. And Gateshead very good on the ball. Ollie inside a pocket of space. Great angled ball. Now finding Hannan down on the left-hand side again. Up against Kellerman. Tries to get the ball in. Came off Kellerman, and then it came off Hannan last for a goal kick to Woking. Still 1-0 for Gateshead.
But again, well worked move there by Gateshead. Played it out. Nothing down the left, so they put it out to the right. Then a crossfield ball, and Hannan was in a dangerous position, but Kellerman covered well.
So what are your views so far, Ian, on the Woking performance all in all?
I would say it's been okay, maybe 5 or 6 out of 10, but it's there's a confidence that teams have when they've got a couple of results behind them, and you feel they've got that strut to them. And Woking at the moment are battling really to get that confidence, get that strut back. And whereas Gateshead, I think, have got that strut.
Well, Hannan got away from Armand, but it did look as though he got the ball out of play. The home fans weren't happy about that, but Woking have a chance just to press forward here down the right-hand side. Moss with the throw. Kellerman offers himself, comes short, goes to Copo. A really heavy, awful touch, to be honest. It's a shame, really, because it came for the ball. There was an opening for him, and it was just such a poor touch, and it's out for a throw.
I think he was thinking too far ahead, I think.
And Robinson does intercept, trying to get the ball off Booty, but Booty got himself out of the way. But at least Woking have penned Gateshead right into their own half as Armand charges what would have been an attempted clearance from Booty. Came off Armand last, but at least Woking have got Gateshead right inside their own half at the moment. Kellerman picks up the ball now, cutting in from the left-hand side, tries to drill the ball in, and they've won a corner. Great alertness from Kellerman.
Yeah, and he's been a plus for Woking this half. He's really got around the pitch, got his interceptions in at the defensive end, and there he was marauding in the box. trying to make something happen. He's got such heart, Jim Kellerman. He never gives up running and puts his body on the line, and won a corner there for Woking, and a chance to put some pressure now on this Gateshead defence.
And Casey from the right, he's going to swing this one in. The referee has just seen a bit of jostling inside the 6-yard box. At least 3 Woking players up there. In fact, Cuthbert has just stepped inside the 6-yard box just to make a nuisance of himself.
Taylor stepped back. It's like he said, right, let me in here.
And Cuthbert's making his body really big as it's drilled in towards the near post. Headed away by Kenton Richardson. There was a push, says the referee, on Richardson from Armand. 1-0 for Gateshead, 36 minutes gone, just 9 to go before the break.
Yeah, and it's been as we say, it's been a Gateshead, I think, probably deserving their lead, but not without a lot of effort and some pressure from Woking.
And again, Mayor's caught out as it's charged down by Corboa, and once again, Mayor is leading a charmed life for Gateshead. But if that's the way he plays, and Mike Williamson, the Gateshead manager, must be aware of that. If that's his style, he must be content with that. But every now and again, Gateshead don't help themselves to give the ball away inside their own half. And that's good news for Woking. It shows that they are being unsettled. Great chance down from Armand, kept in from Kellerman. Or was it? The linesman says on this near side it wasn't. And it's going to be a throw for Gateshead just in front of the home dugout.
Yeah, young keepers now, they're taught to play this way, and it does catch them out when they start playing against a high press. Aldershot famously came unstuck against Woking last season with, a young keeper just trying to play it out into halfway in his own half, and Padraig Armand just dispossessed him and scored in an open goal. And Mayer's been caught out nearly twice already in this first half.
But he's not caught out that time. He clears it over the halfway line. Bradshaw can't control the ball, allowing McBride with a disguised pass onto this near side. Hannant now picks up 5 yards in from this left-hand side, just clips off the toes of Moss, stabs the ball in field. Akinola can't react quickly enough, and they come snapping back to Gateshead now, as they could be in with McBride as he goes for the ball. Diving for it though was Jaskalainen and beat him to it.
Good work by Jaskalainen there. He was off his line quickly and smothered the ball just as Wern was breaking through there. Sorry, McBride was breaking through there.
Yeah, McBride is a signing from the Scottish Championship side, Wraith Rovers. Kenton Richardson with the header. Armand looking busy down the left hand side, comes off the chest of Story. Another corner, and do you know they've had a fair few during the first half of
they have a lot of corners.
Can Casey make one of these count? So this will be an outswinger, but most of them have been quite flat and low towards the near post. Is he going to try something different this time? Once again, raises his right arm. 3 or 4 steps back from the ball. In it comes. Here's a deeper one towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and jumping up that time, just marginally off the ground, was Akinola. Downward header, and it's beyond the near post, out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's perfectly positioned onto his head. Lot of players around him, and there we have. I think it was that Mayer's goal kick that goes straight out for nowhere really for a Woking throw on the halfway line. But yeah, Akinola, clear header, but a lot of people around him. They taking the kick again? What happened there?
Good question, and I can't tell you. But yeah. So once again, Mayer's blushes have been spared. There's now Booty towards Hannant, who just has to come forward at least 5 yards. The pass was a little short, but it's back with Booty under pressure from Moss. Moss says that's mine, and it is. The assistant linesman agrees. Throw for Woking. down this right-hand side. We're going to have another update with BBC Radio Surrey with 5 minutes to go in the first half. Ananga linking up well with Warne. Cuts in field. There's now all of a sudden Hanant was in the clear, and Mike Williamson, justifiably, is a little, well, more than annoyed with the referee, because he's thinking, well, why didn't you play advantage? We were in. We had acres of space coming forward inside the centre circle.
Yeah.
But the referee brings play back, and that's a fortunate decision for Woking.
It is. It's. I think he'd already played advantage once on one dangerous moment, and
still a booze ring out.
Yeah.
For the referee.
You can tell Gateshead are doing well this season because their fans are a lot louder than they normally are. Normally it's a very sort of calm, quiet place to be.
Expectations understandably relatively high so far this season. So here we go with an update with BBC Radio Surrey. Well, they haven't. It's still 1-0, I'm afraid, for Gateshead. But Woking, they haven't been undeterred. They are still coming forward when they can. Koboa has had the best chance for them with a shot that was smothered at the near post by Archie Mayer. Akinola from a Casey corner saw his downward header just go past the near post as well. But every time Gateshead come forward, they look really threatening, especially down the left-hand side, and Woking have to be really wary of that. We've got 4 minutes to go before half-time, and they still trail Gateshead by 1-0. So welcome back to our full match commentary. Can Woking get back on level terms before half-time with Jim Kellerman? You can tell he's got a calming influence in midfield. Moss puts his foot on the ball, has to be careful, spins away from Warne, dashes into the Gateshead half, tries to slice his ball between two Gateshead defenders. Neat ball in field from Warne, but it's picked up by Bradshaw, looking... Well, in fact, Robinson, I do apologise. And he put his foot in on Ollie. It seems to be a delayed decision. Robinson very annoyed with the free kick, and he's been booked immediately.
Yeah. Josh Casey is going over now, talking to the referee, getting an explanation.
(1-0) led. Woking are trailing, yet to score their first goal on the road this season. Had a goalless draw at Kidderminster on the opening day, and that was followed on their next away game with a 2-0 defeat at Barnet. Kellerman striding forward down the left-hand side, makes at least 20 yards, and it falls behind Armand about 14 yards out. The bounce just wasn't kind for him. Hannan picks up for Gateshead. The cross field pass finds Ollie. Neat touch, disguised pass towards McBride. Then they come forward again. They look really confident to Gateshead. Hannan comes in field. Can't get away from Casey, who's gone down unchallenged. I think he just fell awkwardly. Please don't tell me this is another injury for Woking. He's gone down. He just seemed to turn and clear the ball, and he went down. He wasn't challenged.
No, and he's lying. He's lying still, holding his shin.
Now, I'm not sure, Ian, if actually he was an injured out ahead of this game, because he didn't play last week, did he?
No, he hasn't played much this season at all. But I don't actually think it's been. I think if anything, it was the rumour I heard was it was a back issue. So I think he was on the bench last week. So I think he's been pretty near or thereabouts for a while, and obviously, as the club captain, given the opportunity to come forward. 5 minutes of additional time being signalled.
Free kick for Gateshead, almost 10 yards outside the box. Right of centre, Ollie and Francis are stood over this. Ollie with the blonde hair, as Francis skips over it. comes in, cannons off the knees of Armand, back towards Hanan. Short square pass. Out towards Ollie as Woking force them back towards the halfway line. And Woking do well just to press Gateshead back into their own half, but they pick up again now. With Warren, almost gets around Cuthbert, but using his experience, stood on his feet, makes the interception. Corner for Gateshead on the left.
Yeah, well defended there by Scott Cuthbert, and against threatening attack. Against, I would say, the more traditional attacking, Woking have covered that quite well. It's just the sudden breaks and pace that they've struggled with. And there have been 2 or 3 occasions for that from Gateshead.
And it's swung it towards the near post, headed up by Casey. He's okay, by the way, as Koboa spins and clears, hoops it over the halfway line. Back is Hunter, just on the edge of his own box, closed down by Bradshaw, and Story just mops up the loose ball straight towards Mayer. Takes no chances this time, looking for the run of Denanga straight down the middle. Comes off his thigh. Up against him though is Cuthbert, and Kellerman in a defensive midfield position. Gathers. Bradshaw gathers on his chest, up against Ollie. Brings the ball down and gets the return pass from Ward, making the angled run. Checks his run, comes in field, just dabs it to Francis, now on this left-hand side. Lovely inside pass towards Hannett from Booty. Doesn't quite come up for Gateshead, but the home crowd really appreciating the latest move from the home side.
Yeah, again, nice football to feet, and I felt for Matt Robinson there. He was dispossessed in midfield, but he was very isolated. He had the ball, and probably 3 or 4 Gateshead players nearer to him than the nearest Woking out ball, so he really had very little he could do there, and then what the Gateshead were breaking away.
And Jaskalainen's going to clear. Now into injury time. More than 2 minutes have gone. Another 5 to play as Koboa gets the layoff from Armand, and his snapshot from the edge of the box may well have been going wide, but Mayer was right behind it and palms it out for a corner.
Yeah, we were perfectly positioned for that one, weren't we, Bernard? And it was probably would have hit the outside of the post, I think, but Mayer wasn't taking any chances. Good work from Ricky Koboa, as you say. Ball from Hammond, Koboa span, hit from probably 20-25 yards, and had the goalkeeper scrambling.
Casey then, this time raising both hands, so we'll see what that means. Drifts into the box, Taylor making the run, volleyed away by McBride onto the chest of Denanga, and now Warren away from Kellerman. Oh, that was late by Kellerman on Warren, and the crowd are chanting off. The referee is going to brandish a yellow. Kellerman's gone down. That was a hefty collision.
Yeah, I don't think.
And that was not, well, I'm just going to say this now, but to me that was not Kellerman denying Warren a definite goal scoring opportunity.
No, I think they were both going for the ball. It was pretty stretched. Kellerman stretched for it. Caught. Obviously, the fans around here are convinced it was a red. I may be equally biased, but I wouldn't say that was a red. I would have thought that was a yellow. It certainly wasn't. He wasn't aiming to take out the man. Was desperately trying to get the ball.
And Kellerman is still down as the referee still waits to brandish the yellow card, and that will definitely be coming.
You have to say, though, it's symptomatic of how stretched Woking have been on occasions, and there it was, there Woking were in attack, and then the ball came forward. Moss made his decision to go for the ball, didn't get there, and it was 2 men after the same ball. Whoever won that if Gateshead had won that, they'd have been through on goal. And
Francis then with the free kick. Looks like a move from the training ground, but didn't work on that occasion. I don't think they even knew what they were trying to do with that free kick. No. It was played short. I think they were trying to just catch the Woking defence flat-footed, and all they managed to do was just knock the ball out for a goal kick. we're pretty much up to the end of the first half. We may well get a half.
Built for the 50-50 draw. The winning ticket is number 23617.
Yeah, I was just going to message you to say that I've just reconnected. I don't know what happened then. It just kind of started bleeping. But I'm okay now.
Displayed in hospitality on the concourse in Blackthorn.
All right, fella.
The winnings are to be collected from room 7. If you're not sure where room 7 is, please ask a steward and I'm sure they'll direct you to the right place. Whilst I have your attention again, let's have another thought for the Washington Athletic Run under 13s who are doing a sterling job out there as ball retrievers today. And of course, mentioning the sponsors and partners on the team sheet and on the boards around the ground, we now have 22 official club partners to whom we are very grateful for their help and support. To be honest, I'd like to see what happens in the midfield. So just appreciate it on the team sheet and around the ground. We have shout outs today. One is for Finn Richardson, who was 12 a couple of weeks ago and is currently helping me with the sound system here. To my right. For Anna Richardson, Who's over here from New Zealand at the moment. This is our first Gateshead game.
Well, I don't need to correct you, Joe, because you're absolutely right. So sadly, Woking are trailing 1-0 at half-time. They're not out of this by any means, but they are coming up against a very confident-looking side, Joe, and you can see why they have scored 4 goals in their last 2 games. The only goal separating the sides coming from Marcus Dinanga. There are question marks over the defending, I'm afraid, for Woking. Dinanga just getting on to the end of a ball into the box. He was sandwiched more or less between Dan Moss and Greg Taylor. Didn't look as though he could get his shot away. Didn't look as though he would even get to the ball, but he did. Won the ball and blasted it past Jaskalainen's near post from short range. They do look very threatening coming forward, Gateshead. Warren had a great chance before that to open the scoring. He saw his curling effort go wide, but Woking have had chances themselves. Armand with a downward header that went across the face of goal. Koboa on as a substitute for Reece Brown. He tested Mayer with a snapshot from the edge of the box that was palmed out for a corner. In fact, Mayer, the Gateshead goalkeeper, has led something of a charmed life. He likes to bring the ball out onto the edge of his own box. He's been dispossessed a couple of times, but thankfully for him, Woking have just not been able to make the most of that. But at times, they are looking good, Woking, and Bradshaw, the new loan signing that was announced today, he's looking quite good in midfield. So still lots of positives to take out of this, Joe, even though they are trailing 1-0 at half-time, so don't give up hope just yet. Welcome back to our online commentary with BBC Sport. We're covering the National League up in the northeast. Gateshead 1, Woking 0 is the half-time score, and at first glance it doesn't look as though either side have made any changes ahead of the second half. But the one thing we certainly both noticed, Ian Nicholson, who's co-commentating with me, is that the Woking side were out for what felt like an absolute age before the Gateshead players were back on the pitch.
Yeah, it did feel like an age, and I can't believe they'd have been sent out early as some sort of punishment, as sort of happens, because I don't think that would do any good at the moment for Woking. I think whether they just had said what they need to say right, let's get out and get on with it, and then Gateshead came out. Felt like about 5 minutes later, really, with the referee.
Well, and that's an interesting point, isn't it? The fact that players come out early doesn't necessarily mean it's negative. but it has those negative connotations, doesn't it, usually?
Well, yeah.
But it may not mean that at all.
No.
We're making assumptions. Anyway, the second half is underway. I'll give you both lineups very shortly. Hunter just forced back onto his own halfway line. Very good pressing from Casey, but the referee doesn't like that at all. I must admit, I didn't think there was anything wrong. Casey was just being very eager, making a menace of himself. But the referee says that's a free kick. So let me give you the lineup, starting with Woking. So they're lining up with 4 at the back, and the referee's just having a long chat with
Ian Dyer,
the assistant,
the Woking assistant, assistant.
And Darren, yeah.
No cards. I think he obviously heard something he didn't like the sound of and decided to make his point at the start of the second half and let them know who's in charge.
As the ball down the right comes off the back of Hunter towards Dinanga, but he is caught offside. So Woking line up with Jaskalainen across the back, Moss, Cuthbert, Taylor and Casey. Yakinola sitting in front of them. Bradshaw, the new loan signing, in midfield alongside Robinson and Kellerman, and up front Koboa replacing Brown during the first half is alongside Podrick Ormond. For Gateshead, Archie Mayer is the goalkeeper on loan from Norwich. I'll just break for a moment because Koboa tries to get the better of Hunter. Hunter just gets a foot in while McBride helps him out, and it's going to be a throw for Woking, just 3 yards.
Well, and Bradshaw is being called over to take it, so whether he has a bit of a long throw on him.
Well, I thought Casey was going to take it, but it is going to be Bradshaw. Almost stood on the edge of the running track. Cuthbert's coming short, possibly to say something, but he just wheels away and then runs towards the near post. Kelman on the edge of the box. Kobo is there too, so is Cuthbert. And it comes, looking for the head of Cuthbert, almost grazes off the top of his head. Back with Bradshaw, drills it in, but there was no takers for Woking inside the 6-yard box. Still 1-0 for Gateshead. And we're going to have a very early update in the second half from our colleagues at BBC Radio Surrey. Podrick finding Robinson down the right-hand side as Moss battles for it with Booty. Booty does enough just to put off Casey, and it's out for a goal kick to Gateshead. So I'll give the update first, and then I'll run through the Gateshead lineup. But as I say, no changes at half-time. Mayer clears, top shot by Story, angles it towards this right-hand side. Now with Richardson for Gateshead, linking up with Francis, forced back almost towards his own 18-yard line, loses out onto Koboa. Koboa now inside to Kellerman, a great chance for Woking, and he equalises! Koboa with the inside ball, and Kellerman has equalised for Woking. 3 minutes inside the second half, and it was a chance out of nothing with Koboa nipping in, winning the ball outside the box. He fed Kellerman. He still had a lot of work to do, but was just made to beat, blasts it into the net. It's 1 apiece at the Gateshead International Stadium. Well, that was good timing, wasn't it?
Well, it was for the update. You have to say that was, it was well taken by Jim Kellerman. It was good work by Ricky Corboa, but dozy defending from Gateshead. They had 3 or 4 players back there, and they just seemed to be taking their time. Corboa nicked it off them, played it through. Kellerman had the free ball, took it a couple of steps in, and that just banged it in with aplomb, and game on, and a wake-up call for Gateshead there, who'd looked very, very comfortable since going ahead, but Woking have come out with really, great work there by Hammond.
Almond delays his run, swings the ball. It's far too heavy though for Robinson and Korboa, but Korboa just doing that thing that defenders hate when you're in the face.
Yeah.
Getting the ball, getting in amongst them, and he had the tenacity and the determination to win the ball back. And Kellerman, I'm not saying it was an easy chance, it wasn't, but he only had the keeper to be running in from the left-hand side across the face of the box and just beat Mayer for sheer power.
Yeah.
From about 7 or 8 yards out. 1-1. What a great start to the second half for Woking, scoring their first goal away from home this season. And Kellerman's the man to get it. Armand to Casey, headed away by Richardson beyond the 18-yard line, but Akinola's there. Tries to get around Warren, wins the throw. Next to the east stand, opposite our commentary position, 6 minutes gone.
And you suddenly feel like Woking have got a spring in their step and an extra yard of pace. They're all really on it, so maybe it was the half-time tea.
Kelman, the goal scorer, near the corner flag, down the right-hand side, as Cuthbert dinks the ball back in. Back for Gateshead is Story, clears on the volley. And at the moment, it's Woking winning the second ball, it seems. Kellerman dabs it short to Moss. Finds Armand peeling away down the right-hand side, drills the ball into Korboa, who tried to flick it into the path of Robinson. Doesn't quite come off. Ollie slides in. There goes Casey, who's caught on his shin. Free kick for Woking. I don't think Ollie meant any malicious intent going for that ball. In fact, he was pulling away from the tackle as Casey went in to win it. But Casey has gone down again. He went down during the first half.
Yeah.
That time he has won a free kick, but as I say, Ollie wasn't doing anything wrong there. He was pulling out of the challenge, but the collision was inevitable.
And disappointing in that Korboa was away, actually. I mean, he had space, he'd got the ball, and advantage could well have been played at that point.
Taylor raising both arms on the D, waiting for this free kick. On the left, bent in by Casey. The header comes in from Cuthbert and he flashes past the far post. Mayer was diving, but I think he was convinced it was going wide anyway. But once again, Woking are doing all the pressing at the moment. They're dominating. But just as I say that, McBride finds Hannant down the left-hand side. He's up against Moss. A great cross comes in, and a chance is cleared off the line by Taylor. Dinanga with the shot. It wasn't a great one, to be honest. It was a tough one for him to control, but Dinanga had a chance to put Woking ahead again. Taylor saving Woking.
Yeah, very. It's end-to-end stuff, isn't it? End-to-end stuff. Gateshead haven't really had the ball enough this half to really. They were strutting their stuff the first half, really, and but under a bit of pressure, they haven't been able to get the ball. But once they do, they again begin to build steadily. But they give it away, and
all of a sudden, Anand is in through the middle, shoots!
Oh!
How's that go wide?
Oh!
Almond's missed.
Yeah,
he tried to bend it inside the keeper's left-hand post. I don't know if it shaved the outside post or the post behind the net, but that was close.
Yeah,
but
and again,
Armand, well, listen, he should have got that on target.
Yeah, sloppy Gateshead defending, gave the ball away needlessly, and suddenly Armand was on his own in the middle, edge of the box, just the keeper to beat, looked to curl it, beat the keeper, but also beat the goal.
And once again, Gateshead living so dangerously as Francis almost has the ball nipped off him by Woking, just beyond his own box. As now play rages towards the other end, McBride almost gets onto it. Cleared by Jaskalainen, and all of a sudden this game has just gone up several notches. Not that the first half was bad at all, but it's suddenly much quicker, and Woking are getting as good as they get.
Yeah, I mean,
in the second half, aren't they?
You know, Ricky Gourbeau is not known for his height and physicality, beating central defenders to headers there. It's
Taylor just coming across to deny Dinanga. Throw taken quickly by Gateshead with Hunter down this left-hand side near the penalty box as Gateshead probe. Side-footed clearance from Jääskeläinen. As Bradshaw gets the ball away. Ollie coming in late on Koboa, and Ollie is going to be booked for Gateshead.
Yeah, and he caught Corbeau was away there, and he just caught him. Ricky Corbeau has been excellent this half. He's been on the ball, looking to make things happen. He sometimes, my assumption, feel that he just needs to have more belief, and that he can really be a game changer, and he's certainly played well this half.
Kelman picks up, running towards the halfway line. Now tries to shake off Warne, but it's with Moss. Back with Kellerman. Cuts the ball in, volleyed away that time by Story. The cushion header infield from Kellerman towards Akinola in that defensive role of his. It's launched forward by Taylor. Ahmed, brilliant flick towards Koboa. Back to goal, shoots on the spin. Blocked by Francis. As Dinanga comes short, but that time on the far side, Warne in his red boots is caught offside, and Williamson, the Gateshead manager, just cannot believe that.
Well, I think that was offside. It looked offside to me, but it's. I think it's as much frustration from the Gateshead fans.
I think so.
They just haven't got into this game. They back on level pegging, and it's just not going for them.
But it's Woking who have been the better side since half-time. Level up one apiece. Armand. But there's a free kick against Woking for a push, it seems, possibly by Armand himself, just inside the Gateshead box. The sun is now behind clouds, but still a decent late summer's afternoon in the northeast. Volleyed away by Moss. Back come Gateshead again, just to clear the ball with interest. Back towards Jääskeläinen.
And it conveniently just bobbles out for the goal kick, so that we can take breath. It can settle a bit, but it has been breathless this first period of the first 13 minutes of the second half.
Well, we've already seen one goal. Dinanga's shot cleared off the line by Taylor. Armand should have grabbed the second for Woking with just the keeper to beat. It looked every inch as though it was going to nestle into the bottom right corner, but it shaved the wrong side of the post as Mej is backpedaling onto his own 6-yard line. Clears, left-footed over the halfway line, down the middle, met by the head of Cuthbert as he bounces across the centre circle. Straight towards Robinson now. Drifting away towards the left-hand side, up against Kenton Richardson. Back towards Bradshaw, linking up with Robinson. Back with Bradshaw again. Kellerman, heavy touch from him, allows Gateshead just to build again. Booty, rather leisurely coming forward, no urgency at all.
Casey out of position
the ball onto
here.
this right-hand side though, with McBride on the edge of the box. Cuts in field, is going to shoot, comes off the chest of Bradshaw though. Francis, the crowd say shoot, Dinanga has it on the penalty spot. Warne almost in with a chance for Gateshead, eventually cleared by Gateshead. Straight onto Bradshaw on the far side, now with Kellerman. Looking for the killer pass, doesn't quite find Robinson. Infield towards Story, is aware of Koboa.
Yep.
Story just has to lift it, lash it out of play onto this near side.
And that was pressure there from Corboa, pressure from, Robinson and then Corboa. And, causing the panic defence. They're not allowing Gateshead to settle on the ball as they maybe were in the first half.
Robbie Tinkler warming up for Gateshead. Just running past Casey, who takes the throw down this left-hand side, linking up with Koboa, controls it beautifully on his chest, then inside pass towards Robinson. And the pass, or the clip into the box. Peters out for Woking, straight into the arms of Archie Mayer. 1-1 at the Gateshead International Stadium, the third largest sports arena in the northeast. I dare say it won't be too long before we have another update with Radio Surrey. Kenton Richardson, the right back for Gateshead. Again, not for the first time. Gateshead give the ball away. Koboa down this the left. Drills the ball in. Oh, Armand!
Oh!
Armand with a downward header inside the 6-yard box. Koboa with a brilliant cross, left-footed, and there's Armand to make up for that earlier miss. The downward header inside the 6-yard box, and Woking have turned it around completely. Gateshead 1, Woking 2.
And you have to say that was a superb bit of work by Ricky Koboa on the left. He had the ball, he just made enough space, and he didn't fire it across. He dinked it in a way that got over the front defenders, and Hammond was able to just come in and nod it home past Mayer. But this game has turned on its head. It certainly isn't over. But that was great work by Ricky Koboa.
Well, we've seen a dramatic change, Cameron, at the start of this second half, because Woking haven't just equalised, they have just gone ahead. Podrick Armand with a downward header inside the 6-yard box, and he's got Ricky Koboa to thank for a brilliant delivery from the left-hand side. It has been quite a second half. Gateshead themselves could have grabbed a second goal through Denanga. He gave them the lead in the first half, but Greg Taylor saved Woking as he cleared off the line. It really has been a brilliant second half, and Woking have been exceptional themselves. They lead by 2-1. So, wow.
Football.
Well, that's why we love it, because you just never know. You just never know what's going to happen. But Woking cannot afford to switch off, as the crossfield pass from Booty is just too strong for Jordan Hunter, who was hurtling away down this right-hand side. It's out for a goal kick. 17 minutes gone. Gateshead 1, Woking 2.
Yeah, and Woking been excellent this second half. All the players have been on it. They've been winning the 50-50 balls, getting the second ball. Got a bit of an outlet in Ricky Koboa, who's done very well on both goals.
Really hope that you're enjoying the coverage wherever you're listening to us. I hope the weather's pretty kind where you are too. It's been kind to us as well. And it just shows what can happen in this game. Not that Woking were outplayed during the first half, but Gateshead, for me, shaded it.
Yeah.
They took their chance really well. Warren had a brilliant chance to score in the first half as well. Koboa, I think, has been excellent, just as Reece Brown was before he had to go off with an injury. Armand, as I would expect from a player with his experience, has been a threat as well. And just look how well Ian Nicholson, how well Woking are pressing Gateshead on the edge of their own box.
Yeah, when you've got a team that like to play it out from the back, you've got to pressurise them. But here they are, Gateshead, in a dangerous position now.
Hunter just inside the box on the right-hand side as Warren tries to get the ball back to him. Koboa, I think, tried to lift the ball over Richardson's head just to run down the left-hand side. That didn't quite come off. And the referee says, you can't take the throw. We've got a player down. It's Kellerman. And he's going to need some treatment.
Yeah, he's gone down there. He doesn't look to be in absolute pain, but he was limping when he came out for the second half, so it might just be a little bit of a check on that. Looking at options on the bench, there are 2 defenders, Luke Wilkinson, Sam Habergam, and Nana Boateng.
Well, I wonder what Darren Sarll is thinking right now. He's having a quick word with Dan Moss as the players take, well, a well-earned drinks break after a whirlwind second half.
Yeah, it has been a whirlwind second half, and it probably gives the players a chance to clear their heads, set themselves up for the final 25 minutes. But it's also get over, both teams chat to their manager, get a few instructions, bit of an encouragement, bit of a kick up the backside, although I don't think Woking particularly need a kick up the backside at the moment, just to be able to keep going. And it looks like, is Kellerman coming off?
Well, he's walking 3 or 4 yards ahead of the physio, and he's just come back for a drink of water.
Yeah,
I think he's going to be okay.
And he's got to be called on, and obviously they have to stay off for 30 seconds now, which to my mind is a good introduction, that players who go off for injuries have to stay off for 30 seconds. So
now, one thing I haven't done at all today, Ian, is actually give you any of the latest scores from the National League, because it's been such an entertaining game to watch. But I'm going to do that. I'll try. I completely forgot. Ian, you should have reminded me.
To be honest, when we're 1-0 down, I don't want to know the other scores.
But now that Woking are winning, you do. Right,
yeah,
I understand.
Exactly.
I understand. As Ollie, short pass to his right. Jordan Hunter between 2 Woking players, threads the ball in field, but Arman is back, battling away for Woking. Back with Francis, though, for the men in white and black, playing from left to right in the second half. Francis, the last man back, finds Mayer, cuts inside. He looks taking a risk or two, this guy, doesn't he? But came off well on that occasion. Francis inside the centre circle, just lays it short. Finds Richardson back in field towards Ollie on a yellow card, sprays it wide. He's a very creative player, you can see that. Warren controls the ball on his chest. Now with Hannett towards Booty, gets a return ball, and it comes! And nipping in, I think it may well have been Cuthbert.
Yeah.
Was it to...
Yeah, Cuthbert pushed it.
To deny McBride.
Yeah. Great attack there by Gateshead, one of the few times this half, but when they do that,
is that it was number 10, Patrick Hammond, who scored for Woking.
Meanwhile, Gateshead are going to introduce one of their many new signings, Billy Chadwick, on loan from Stockport County. As the corner swung in towards the near post, Casey, one of the shortest men on the field, unchallenged, nods it out for another corner.
Near post man.
Absolutely. And I don't think they're going to do the same this time. Warren, as they go short this time. Pennant goes in a little late on Casey. It's going to be a corner once again for Gateshead, their second in quick succession. 23 minutes gone in the second half. Warren bends it in deep at this time, fisted away by Jaskalainen, which clears the box. Hannett collects the furthest man back. And Ollie, still inside the Gateshead half, finds Richardson in a little space. Dananga linking up with McBride. Kellerman losing out though. Dananga collects again, pokes it towards this right hand side. And cross comes in and headed away by Taylor inside his own 6-yard box. Hannett lurking, almost got on the end of that. Seems to be playing further forward now, does Hannett. So
double substitution.
Tactical switch for Gateshead perhaps. So you're saying a double switch here. So McBride is coming off for Chadwick. Was it one change or two?
Boateng coming on.
For one for each side.
For Kellerman by the looks of it.
So Boateng is on, joining the club on a 6-month loan, and he's replacing the most popular man in Gateshead this afternoon, Jim Kellerman.
he likes to fire at the opposition fans.
For working, leaving the pitch, number 17, Jim Kellerman, being replaced by number 15, Hannah Boateng.
Well, he certainly made his mark, and I'm not just referring to the equaliser, but his presence. Yeah. How much of a difference has that made today?
He's been immense, and I think it was touch and go whether he was going to play. It was, I don't know that he was expected to be back today, but one thing with Jim Kellerman, he'll always put his body on the line. He'll do whatever's asked of him, and he's done well today. And whether he's picked up more of an injury or what, we don't know, but or whether it's just giving him a rest for Monday. He's done his job, as you say.
And of course, that will be, well, not at this moment in time perhaps, but of course, Woking have got a game on Monday against Dorking at home. Hunter takes a throw quickly, halfway inside the Dorking half, down this right-hand side, picks up again, Denanga, back to goal. He's up against Taylor, he's just forced back ever so slightly. Ollie just bending the ball with the outside of his right foot towards Booty, cuts in field, tries to get away from Akinola. The pass in towards Denanga, forced away from the edge of the box. Shot comes in, brilliant header away from Cuthbert. That was goal bound. As that time Akinola and Booty challenged for the ball. It's going to be a free kick for Gateshead.
Yeah, I think it was Boateng actually. I think it was Boateng there who'd only been on and probably getting up to pace with the game. And he came in. It was almost like in rugby where someone jumps up to take the ball and you tackle him in mid-air before his feet are on the ground. It was a bit like that. He's picked up a yellow card for that. But I think his eyes were only on the ball, really.
So this is 30 yards out, possibly a little more, just to the left of centre. And Woking are going to line up quite a long wall here.
Full wall,
5, maybe 6? 5, I would say. 5 in this wall, and they're going to be actually stood right on the 18-yard line, protecting Jaskalainen's left-hand post.
Hammond moving out to pick up the
Francis is stood over it, so is Denanga. Here it comes, it's slashed by Kenton Richardson. Charged down well by the Woking defence. Richardson picks up again on the right hand side, lifts the ball towards Denanga, headed upwards by Cuthbert, helping out by Moss. The cushioned layoff now towards Hunter, drills the low ball in from the right, but Moss makes the vital interception. Casey, I should say, for a corner.
Yep, good pressure there from Gateshead, but well defended by Woking, who seem much more assertive this half. They're really all doing their jobs, and but these flurry of attacks and corners have got the Gateshead fans going again.
Francis bends the ball in right in front of the keeper, under the bar, and he grabs that cleanly. It's still Woking leading Gateshead by 2-1.
Yeah, great take there by Jaskalainen. I mean, he had lots of players around him. Really, in those situations, you usually expect the keepers nowadays to punch it clear, but he was calm enough to catch it.
Woking playing with 3 up front still, so Boateng is up as well. I'll ask why Ian's laughing at him.
Well, I think they were laughing at Jaskalainen because he slips as he kicked, and then the ball hit a couple of Gateshead players quite comically, so the Woking fans gave it back.
Ball bent in by Casey from the left-hand side. Running away from the box is Boateng. Back towards Moss. There's going to be another update shortly with BBC Radio Surrey, although there hasn't been, in all honesty, too much to add since the last time we were with them. The game has just calmed down a lot. Wilkinson is coming on.
For Greg Taylor.
Yes, for Greg Taylor. So again, is that with Monday in mind?
It may well be. He wasn't showing any signs of any injury. Wants to give Wilkinson a few minutes. Obviously, you know, fingers crossed with Luke Wilkinson. You know, physios. He's had plenty of time, but he has had a suspect, particularly calves, I think, since last season. So you hope that he's really in for a lengthy time now. Corner there for Woking. Good work by Boateng. But you hope he's going to have a lengthy injury-free spell now. He's a class defender, really nice guy.
15 minutes to go, just under 15 minutes to go. The weather looking a little more ominous now as I look towards my right. Some heavy clouds are coming over towards us. Corner for Woking. Can they clinch it with a third? They did beat Gateshead here 3-1 here last October in the league. This Casey swings the ball in, and with an outstretched foot is Wilkinson. In fact, he scored in the meeting between the two sides last year. Brilliantly controlled by Boateng. Back with Wilkinson. As he bends the ball in, Armand I should say, bends the ball in, goes over the bar and out for a goal kick.
Lovely touch from Boateng though, wasn't it? These young players, what they can do, their technique, you know, tall ball brought down, high ball brought down beautifully, and then Ammon took it on.
Winning the ball is Cuthbert. He's been excellent today. Boateng looking busy, trying to just pick up the return pass down this left-hand side. It's too strong.
Corbora's gone more central. Boateng seems to be moving between both wings, actually.
Archie Mayer just strides beyond his own 18-yard line. Do you know, I've never seen a goalkeeper with so much confidence, and he's still such a young man. But it's great to see players with self-belief, and he's going to stick to his principles.
He has, and I think obviously with Notts County, you know, those penalty saves were superb. It must have been a dream for him.
Corboa, he's had a fine game. Diving in, gets ahead of Hunter. At the back though for Gateshead.
And suddenly Gateshead's rhythm has gone, isn't it?
That's Tinkler come on for Gateshead. I'll have to check that for you. That looks like Tinkler out there right now.
I think he might have come on I think he was the first substitution, or maybe even at half time. I'm not sure. No, not at half time, but I think he was a substitution.
Ollie clears on the volley, doesn't quite find Warren. As Cuthbert, clearly annoyed with himself, just wanted to just dink it ever so slightly down the left-hand side. Drifts out of play, but at least the ball is still well inside Gateshead half. 32 minutes gone. Robinson with an outstretched leg wins it back for Gateshead, lifted by Akinola right into the middle as Boateng knocks the ball forward, almost into the path of Corboa, and it's straight through to Archie Mayer. Just launches it, throws it straight into the Woking dugout, and that kind of just sums up his afternoon. He showed moments of brilliance, but moments that just leave your head absolutely scratching.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that was
it's just been one of those afternoons for him.
And things like that immediately lift the pressure off and put it back on your own side.
Moss with a bullet header just gets it out of play. Still well inside the Gateshead half. So let's have another update with BBC Radio Surrey. I'm still going to give them some good news from a Woking perspective, and yes, certainly. So Woking are still leading by 2-1, Joe. We've got just under 12 minutes left in this game, and we're probably entering one of the quietest phases of the game, because since you were last with us, we really haven't had any clear-cut chances to speak of. But what an explosive start to the second half it was for Woking, with Kelman first of all equalising, Dinanga then almost giving Gateshead the lead once again when his shot was cleared off the line. Armand had a brilliant chance, by the way, just with Archie Mayer, the keeper, to beat when his shot went the wrong side of the post, but he more than made up for that with a downward header from about 6 yards out. So Woking could obey on for their first away win of the season. They were just over 10 minutes ago and they lead by 2-1 here against Gateshead. Here's Hunter then, passing field now with Ollie looking for the run of Warren down the right-hand side of the box. Cuthbert, he's been exceptional today, he really has. The header inside from Story, has to be wary of Ahmed, who picks up now, nods the ball forward, up against Story. Finds Koboa in support down the left-hand side. The ball trickles away from Robinson, the pass was far too heavy. I'm not sure if Robinson was expecting it, or at least at the pace he was expecting it. The crossfield pass meanwhile towards Dinanga is just going to drift ever so slowly out of play for a working goal kick, and a working play is just kind of collapsed. I'm not sure if it's Robinson actually who's gone down. No, it's not Robinson, it might be Bradshaw. Yes, it is Bradshaw. He just seemed to go down.
Yeah.
Just holding the
probably
his calves and his thighs, giving them a good slapping.
He's probably not played this intensity of football very, very often, I would think. You know, playing in, academy football and under 23 football.
Well, it's been quite an introduction for him, and what does it say about his performance that Darren Sarl hasn't thought for a moment about bringing him off?
No, yeah, and you just hope it clears up, because Woking don't want to be carrying a passenger for the last 20 minutes.
Koboa tries to juggle a ball with a couple of touches, but it falls for Hunter, just spinning right in front of the Gateshead dugout. Wins the free kick. Ollie is forced it to go back. Richardson with a short pass along the ground finds Francis, who clips it with his left foot. Finding Booty now with Hannant, doesn't quite get away from Moss, but Gateshead do have a throw. Less than 10 minutes to go. Booty, short ball in field on the edge of the box on the left hand side with Hannant, clips the ball across to Warren, tries his luck from about 25 yards out, always rising. Gateshead 1, Woking 2.
But also symptomatic really of the fact that Gateshead are struggling to make the openings they did in the first half. They're probing away, but Woking seem much more able, for whatever reason, to handle the Gateshead passing game. They're cutting out the crosses, keeping to their men in the box. As we were saying earlier, Gateshead's game is a possession game, and they've had the bulk of possession in most of the games they've played. It's probably been more even today, I think, than in most of their games, but that counts for nothing if you can't break down a determined, well-organised defence, which Woking have been in this second half.
So I'll tell you a little more about Gateshead change in a moment, because it's quite an interesting one. Hannon poking the ball down the left-hand side. Gateshead still inside their own half as Woking intercept. Koboa does really well just to keep the ball in play with his head, finds Boateng. Boateng's looked very good so far. Loses out on that occasion though, and it drifts out of play on the far side. So Ollie, the captain's gone off for Aidan Rutledge. And Rutledge, one of the new signings for Gateshead this season. He's actually a signing from the 10th tier of English football, but he's got a phenomenal scoring record.
Yeah.
Ian, and you know about this, I think. So
I was reading about him earlier. I can't remember which team it was he plays for, but it's he got 60 goals, I think, or something last season in one of the northern leagues. Is that right?
Well, shall I tell you? Because I know.
Go on.
I know, right?
You did your research.
Obviously, you've only... Your research is half cooked, so let me tell you a little more. So he used to play for Berkeley Town in the 10th tier, scoring 61 goals in just 43 appearances. He's on for the captain, Greg Ollie, so he'll be playing up front alongside Dinanga. Hunter pokes the ball back to Richardson, coming forward down the right hand side, knocks it down. What a great first touch that could have been for Rutledge, because it almost fell into the path of Dinanga on the edge of the 6-yard box, and that could have opened up for Gateshead's equaliser.
Yeah, it was, and Dinanga was on it, but Jääskeläinen was up to it and covered it well. He's played well this game, Will Jääskeläinen. But yeah, Rutledge, I mean, you take chances on some of these players, but occasionally it really does come off.
Gateshead seeing more of the ball in the closing stages. Less than 5 minutes to go at the Gateshead International Stadium. Live National League action. And Gateshead are losing. The free-flowing side are losing today. Scoring 4 in the last 2. They've only managed 1 today. And they're losing to the side who, before today's game, haven't scored away from home, as Mayor again playing from the back, playing Russian roulette. And has the ball again as Armand is quick to close him down. Running across the edge of the 6-yard box is the keeper. Richardson back to Mayor inside his own 6-yard box. Ian Nicholson's loving this. Keep it down there, he's thinking. Gateshead building very slowly. Just about 4 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Gateshead could see their unbeaten run at home come to an end. Losing by 2-1. Lifted forward by Francis. Here's Chadwick, keeps the ball in play. Good defending though from Wilkinson.
Yeah, good play there by Wilkinson. We're probably, how far would you say we are from them? Nearly 200 metres, probably 150 yards from that.
Yeah.
And all the Gateshead fans around us could see that ball went out for a corner.
Well, it may just be that people in the northeast have got very good eyesight.
No.
I don't. We certainly don't. Wearing glasses, the pair of us.
All us fans are myopic. We just.
Anyway.
We see what we want to see.
As Louis Story thumps the ball over the halfway line. Hannant getting away from Boateng. Gateshead are just forced to build from inside their own half once again with Kenton Richardson. Drills a ball low to Dinanga. The first time ball towards Warren, running in. Right inside of the box. Almost a chance. And it's the striker, Rutledge. Sees his shot. Just got the wrong side of the post. And it's out for a goal kick. Yeah, so close for him scoring his debut goal.
It was. And then you see Dan Moss there. That was superb defending from Dan Moss. Tracked his player in. Got there first. Will Jääskeläinen goes. He took a bit of a knock, but I'm sure he'll shake that off. But that was great defending. And as you say, Rutledge was there. He was in the right position, but it was just great defending by Woking there.
Well, he looks all right, this player, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Rutledge, you know, his first touch was a downward header, almost finding Dinanga. Then he's very unlucky not to get his shot on target. Slight tug on the jersey from Moss, not spotted by the referee. Play continues as Cobo just runs onto a through ball. Louis Story shepherding the ball back to Mayor. Less than 2 minutes to go. Woking on the verge of their first away win of the season, a much needed one. 4 points from 4, ravaged by injuries, so many players missing. Defending at the moment with Casey, the upward header reaches Armand. Hunter possibly going in a little late on Casey. Now Boateng threads the ball through. A chance for a number 3, surely, Roberts, no, it's the third goal for Woking, and it's the man on his debut, Bradshaw!
Well,
Bradshaw on his debut has clinched it for Woking with their third. Gateshead 1, Woking 3.
And very coolly taken, very well taken. You could tell even then, though, he could barely run. I think his legs are totally gone. But it was good work from Boateng. He got into a 50-50 ball first, took it out, and then played Bradshaw in. initially thought he's offside, but then you saw that there was a Gateshead defender playing him on, quite deep defender. Bradshaw didn't smash it, took it round the keeper. Two defenders coming back, but he coolly slotted it home from quite a tight angle there. So 3-1 to Woking, and really at 45 minutes you would never have seen this result coming. It's been gutsy, it's been very organised, and it's been, they've beaten what is a very, very good Gateshead side. But the second half has been not allowing Gateshead to play their natural game. It's been the pressing game in their faces and stopping them settle.
So we've just had a substitution for Gateshead. We've got 9 minutes of injury time. But Woking have scored 3 unanswered goals in the second half, and Bradshaw scored on his debut. And how composed was he, taking the ball round there?
Very. It was really well taken.
For such a young player.
But Woking mustn't.
Now that looked a nasty tackle, by the way, from Francis on Boateng. It is a free kick for Woking, but that did not look clever. And Armand's kind of lifting his leg to say he had his legs off the. It looked for a moment he had both legs off the ground there.
Yeah.
What did you think, Ian?
Yeah, well,
it looked nasty.
Yeah, it did. It went in, and then he stayed down because I think he realised he wants to protect himself. So when players know they've done wrong, they stay down, don't they? And he stayed down, holding himself. But
so just to confirm that substitution,
well done by
is off.
Boateng.
And the cross came in from Boateng. He's been brilliant, by the way, coming on. And how good have these substitutions been for Woking? Koboa, Boateng's looked really good as well.
Yeah, they've both been excellent and made a real difference, particularly Koboa, and then Boateng when they're trying to take the game away now.
Gateshead trying to get back into this game quickly. They still have enough injury time, but they are trailing by 3-1. Booty lifts the ball towards the far post. Oh, and Rutledge completely unmarked inside the 6-yard box, heads it over the bar. That was their lifeline, and they've blown it.
If he begins to score, I mean, how long has he been on? 10 minutes, 15 minutes? And he's had 3 great chances that he made. He got in the position there. Just the header was just over, though. Gateshead have they're a good side, and they've opened Woking up on really quite a few occasions today. But defensively, I think they must look at themselves for all 3 goals, really, and you would never have seen this result coming.
Well, the fans you can hear now in full cry are the Woking fans, and I'm just raising myself ever so slightly from my seat, looking towards my left just to see them stood up in the top right corner of the Tyne Weir stand. There's a good turnout actually from them, and they're going to be absolutely delighted with this. There's a flying header from, was it Wilkinson at the back? No, it was Moss. Moss.
Yeah.
Diving full length just to head the ball back towards Jääskeläinen.
Yeah. That was this last 20 minutes. He's been immense. He's tracked his men, covered his men, key blocks, and there the header back to Jääskeläinen.
Coming up to 4 minutes of injury time, so we've still got another 5 remaining, and I still didn't get the chance to read those National League latest scores. Gateshead, they're not finished, they're coming forward again. Now with Tom Allen, cuts in from the left-hand side of the box, but who's there at the back? It's Boateng. Now Dinanga, as Robinson clears. Anywhere will do, and they've got every player behind the ball now have Woking. They've done their job. They're leading by 3-1. They've got that cushion, but even at 2-1, Ian, they were pushing forward, weren't they? Allen bursting forward, has space, gets inside the box, tries to shape one into the bottom corner with his right foot, wins the corner for Gateshead.
Yeah, a lot of tired Woking players here now. They're keeping their shape well, but Gateshead are still pushing, and could well, even at this late stage, have another goal in them. But it's
a really low one across the edge of the box. As Story couldn't get the ball out under his own feet. And Woking do clear. As Woking defending really deep. Most of them strung in front of the penalty box. Rutledge fighting for the ball. Dinanga, one shot comes in. Cuthbert, brilliant defending, comes off his upper leg, out for a corner.
Great defence. It's been such a mixture this. You've had some of the younger players have really turned it on, but some of the old heads, Hammond, Casey, Cuthbert.
Corner from one, again it's Cuthbert with the header, towering clearance from him. Allen shapes to shoot, and it's about a yard over the bar. It's still Gateshead 1, Woking 3.
Yeah, another Gateshead corner there. Just hanging on for this last 4 minutes.
So it must have taken a slight deflection going over the bar. Francis, he'll swing this one in. Really congested penalty box. Above the head of Tinkler. Header comes in. I thought it was a goal. Rutledge again denied. And again he gets his head to the ball and it goes wide. What an introduction to senior football Rutledge has had. He could conceivably have scored 2 goals.
Yeah, he could have.
On his debut.
He could have got a 15-minute hat trick on his debut. It's a sort of, but it's been an entertaining game. It's been end to end. Some good goals. I would have given mention actually to play who very rarely gets mentioned because he goes about his business, but I think Akinola's been excellent today in the midfield role and really stuck to his job, cleared up, won the 50-50s. There he is, just playing in Bradshaw, who can barely run, and his stiff legs have played it out now to Hammond, who's going over to the corner. Yeah, he's done this a few times in his career. There to Robinson.
Robinson inside. Possibly wasn't the right option. He could have gone to the corner, but Boateng making a nuisance of himself, giving Richardson not much time just to clear up towards the halfway line. Chested down by Rutledge. Warren, jersey held by that man Akinola, who we've barely mentioned. He's just that kind of engine room. You just leave him to it and he does his job quietly and efficiently.
Yeah, he does, and he get booked there. He knew exactly what he was doing, just breaking up the attack, and knew that he hadn't picked up a yellow this game, so it's safe to bring about a foul that might bring a yellow card.
So we're going to give a final update with BBC Radio Surrey. It may well be just an update before the end of the game, or it could be the full-time report. Either way, we've not got much time. We've got 7 minutes of injury time that have been played. Just another, well, not even 2 to go. Gateshead 1, Woking 3, and this is the repeat scoreline that we had last season between these sides, when Woking actually raced into a 3-0 lead that day. And when you think of the players who are still out of this Woking side, it kind of makes this victory all the more satisfying, given the fact that they were actually losing 1-0 at half-time as well.
Well, losing 1-0 at half-time, Brown having gone off, having looked very lively, injuries, so a bit stretched on the bench, and it really has been a great turnaround.
Allen with a step over, comes inside the box, lifts the ball across the face of goal. In fact, it goes behind for a goal kick. And the Woking fans, they know the points are in the bag. They're going to enjoy their long journey back down to Surrey this evening. How long's the journey, Ian? 6-7 hours, something like that?
Well, we came
I know you're not going down tonight.
No, well, we came up yesterday and it was 7.5, and the traffic was dreadful. Well, it's bank holiday weekend, isn't it? On a good day, you can do it in 5.
So we played the full 9 minutes of injury time. This injury hit Woking side. Darren Sarll said that he was looking for guts and determination to push through August, and we've seen that in spades this afternoon. Coming back from a goal down at half-time, scoring 3 goals following half-time through Kellerman, Armand, and on his debut, Zach Bradshaw, as Robinson clears. And there is the final whistle to a ring of boos. Gateshead fall to their first defeat at home this season, but more importantly, from a working perspective, they chalk up their first 3 points on the road with a very satisfying 3-1 victory in the Northeast, trailing by 1-0 at half-time. They fought back brilliantly. Goals from Kellerman, he equalised. Armand, he had a chance to make it 2 and making amends a few minutes later with a downward header. And then Bradshaw, on his debut, playing the full 90 minutes. The signing only announced this morning. Got onto a boating through ball, rounded the keeper, Archie Mayer, to slot the ball in. And Woking have the 3 points. They've beaten Gateshead by 3-1 in Nicholson.
Well, I think I was reading something today from someone who really knows the low leagues. He said Gateshead, for me, he said I'd be amazed if they're not a playoff team in the National League. They're that good. They've improved. They've signed well. So let's not underestimate this. This was a very difficult trip. Made all the harder by the injuries. Made all the harder by Brown going off. Made all the harder by going 1-0 down at half time. And the second half, they were absolutely superb, and they were relentless, organised, physical, didn't allow Gateshead to settle, and deserved the pull through. So great day for Woking. Gateshead are a good side. They'll do well this season.
So we're going to give our full-time report with BBC Radio Surrey shortly, and then once we've done that, we'll just round up things very quickly. So here we go with our update. And Joe, I almost got it spot on, didn't I? So I did say it would be a 2-1 win for Woking. Well, it's been even better than that for Woking, because they have won by 3-1. And just as I speak, Joe, all of the Woking players are stood in front of the Woking fans in the main stand, applauding each other. It's been a superb performance from them. They turned it around completely in the second half. If you remember, they were 1-0 down at the break. Dinanga, the difference between the sides, getting in between two Woking defenders to blast the ball behind Jaskalainen. But what a second half performance. They turned it around completely. Kellerman, first of all, with an equaliser, just going for sheer power, getting it beyond Archie Mayer from about 7 or 8 yards out. Armand could have given Woking the lead with just the keeper to beat, but he saw his shot with his right foot go the wrong side of the post. He more than made up for that with Koboa's excellent cross from the left, and Armand's downward header inside the 6-yard box, giving Mayer no chance. Gateshead had a great chance to level through Dinanga. His shot was cleared off the line, but then in the closing stages of the game, it was a day to remember for debut signing Zach Bradshaw, playing the full 90 minutes, latched onto a through ball from Nana Boateng, and with so much composure for a young man, just coolly rounded Mayer to slot the ball into the empty net. So Woking have not only got their first goals away from home, they've got their first points, and a much needed first away win of the season, ahead of the derby on Monday against Dorking. It's finished Gateshead 1, Woking 3. So let's just sum up things very, very quickly, Ian, on the result for Woking. Massive result, needless to say, and he turned it around with a quite breathtaking second half performance.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the first half performance wasn't too bad, but Gateshead were excellent and probably deserving of their lead. Second half, Woking was superb because they got their physicality back. They got into the faces of the Gateshead defence. They didn't allow the keeper or the centre backs to settle, and suddenly that passing game begins to become a little bit more uncertain and a bit more hurried. And then they, got the equaliser from a bad mistake and from Gateshead, and then it was onwards, I think, onwards and upwards, and I think they really pressurised them and then soaked up the pressure at the end as Gateshead came back to them. So big result, big 3 points. Woking have had a sketchy start to the season, but today was huge.
Similar result, well, the exact result between these two sides up here last season. I did say during commentary that they are facing so many injuries at the moment, aren't they? We haven't seen Reece Greco-Cox, Jermaine Anderson, Rohan Ince, Emmanuel Oyeleke.
Yeah.
You know, these are all very important players.
Yeah, there's a lot to come back, particularly in midfield. It's midfield that has really taken the brunt of that. But obviously with Brown and Greco-Cox injured, up front has as well. But it's it has been big. But any players wanting to get in this side have seen the blueprint in the second half of what it takes to get in this side, which is into a Darren Sarll side. You can't get in and just, be a luxury player. You've got to really give it your all and be in people's faces and be physical, and we saw that. I have to give a mention to Ricky Corboa. I think he came on and changed a lot of things, just brought that bit of spark, and his cross for the Ammon goal was just superb, and so it's been a very good day for Woking, and some of these players have really stood up and made themselves count. And of course Bradshaw scoring on his debut.
Yeah, and he took it so well.
Yeah, and took it so well. Boateng came on, did a job. Akinola did a job, as well as the sort of more regular faces and heads, So.
And you've got a big smile on your face as well.
I have. Yeah. I didn't at half time, did I?
Well, you certainly do now. So, thank you so much for listening to our online commentary on BBC Sport, and if you've been listening to BBC Radio Surrey as well, thank you for joining us as well. So a very eventful afternoon has ended with victory for the Cards. Woking have their first away league win of the season. They've beaten Gateshead by 3-1 at the Gateshead International Stadium. So thank you so much for listening.